Hey guys, Urban Combat Survivor here. I want to make um, a video about barter. I've done a lot of reading about, the value of things, and I know that a lot of people right now are putting away things like gold and silver. And I know that historically, in breakdown situations and in collapses, gold and silver certainly had value. But finding people to trade that gold and silver with was a lot more difficult than it was to trade tangible goods. Something that you could hand a person that they had immediate use for, that they couldn't get elsewhere, or that was hard to find elsewhere. And one of the things that made me think of this was, that you probably heard me do that a couple of times in videos, and then you hear this. Well, what I haven't mentioned is I roll my own cigarettes. An honest self-analysis needs to take place for each person. What skills do you have? What items, what equipment do you have? I mean, manufacturing equipment do you have that will allow you to produce something that people will find an immediate value for? I have absolutely no doubt that in a collapse, packs of cigarettes are going to disappear pretty quickly. People are going to need cigarettes. People are going to need tobacco. Now, they just started taxing the hell out of certain kinds of tobacco. Other kinds they didn't. I'll leave that up to you. But people who smoke are going to look for tobacco. What other skills might you possess? What other skills might I possess? Sure, I can roll cigarettes, and if I have tobacco and the tubes, I can make cigarettes and sell them. And people that want cigarettes, oh, they're going to pay for them. What things have historically held value in a collapse situation? Ammunition, weapons, basic supplies, food, drinking water, medical supplies. These things have retained their value. Now, the problem is that you can only stockpile so much. I mean, in the modern world, we only have so much living space, and we can't fill that with a bunch of crap that we think we might be able to trade someday. At least I won't, because if you've watched any of my other videos, I told you that what I do is I put things away, and I've approached my entire preparation philosophy from a perspective of zero cost, zero long-term cost. What that means is I've put food away, and in the best case scenario, I was about to say the worst. In the best case scenario, nothing happens, and I have food, and I eat it. This food I was going to buy anyway. Same thing with my gun. I mentioned, I picked up a nice used shotgun that I feel I can get that price for if nothing happens. So what things can you get that might provide you barter that you really aren't going to take a loss on? Well, for me, tobacco's one. And hell, I might even be able to trade tobacco for other things if there isn't a collapse. But what else? We talked about the pool shock. In one of my other videos, I talked about that video that Yankee Prepper made. And I talked about the possibility of bartering out bleach. Well, for $10, if I buy 5 gallons of bleach, I've made up the cost of that. So again, it's a zero loss item for me. What other things can you put away? What items can you have or make? What skills do you possess? Because when it comes down to it, even if you have put gold and silver away, you only have so much. What are you going to do when it runs out? Or if you can't find anybody that'll take it in payment? It seems that what we're going to have to go back to is relying on trading goods and trading skills for the goods and skills that we require. This isn't an easy thing for any of us, because when you sit and assess, you really have to think about. Let's say you have a machine shop in your garage. Even if you have an off-grid power system, you're likely not to have enough power to run a machine shop in your garage. So what skills do you have that are also going to be usable if and when a collapse happens? You might be the best roofer in the world. People are going to need their roofs fixed. But are you going to be able to get the supplies? Think about what you're going to do if it comes time for barter. I mean, there are always the standard fallbacks for certain people. Crime, prostitution. Those things are going to run rampant. But skilled labor is something that we've been losing in this country already. I mean, think about who does stonemasonry now. Are there any real stonemasons out there? I use that as an example because a really good friend of mine is actually a stonemason. He was taught by an old guy, and that old guy really didn't think he was going to find anybody to teach before he retired, because it's just not done anymore. Buildings are prefab and slapped together, and come a collapse, that skill is going to be valuable for him. What skills do we have in this country right now? We pretty much manufacture nothing. We're a service economy. What skills do you personally have that you're going to be able to do without Home Depot? Okay, you're great at construction. Well, Home Depot, the stuff that's there right now, man, it's only going to be there for so long. Do you know how to make those materials? So think about your barter, and think about how much of your space that you have put aside for your preparation that you can dedicate to the concept of trading for those things that you run out of at some point. Nobody can put away everything they're going to need forever. All of us are going to have to barter at some point. What are you going to barter? Think on it. Urban Combat Survivor, signing off.